continue. Here, when you say a hash set, I just finished explanation of the first one. Okay, so when you say your argument, the right hand side, the hash set object is getting created. You know the you know the features. Size is 0 because it is an empty hash set. All these buckets are empty. Initial capacity 16 means, I'm just recapturing. Here, draw the hash table, which is nothing but array of pointers, array of references with the initial capacity 16. So I asked you to draw 16 slots. What is it I have not drawn? This is array of references. I hope already you know this. So here, I have not drawn the class pointer and I have not drawn the length. So that is additional. Today I'm focusing only on what? Only on the hashing related things. So at this point, this is what it is. Now let us go further and let us solve the next statement. I'll just change the pen color so you'll know what I'm talking about. So now when you say hs.add, and this is the one. So when this particular line is getting executed, we are going to the next line. What is it which happens? So here, this is where JVM will start executing or calling hashing algorithm. So here, now I hope you are drawing along with. So keep some space because we are going to draw things here. So first I will start discussing. So here, you have seen the output. I have sent you observations.txt. Everyone has got that, observations.txt. And we are currently saying that we have just followed the 1/2 of the contract. That is, it is not giving constant time performance, but it is detecting the duplicates. So these are the internals I'm discussing. So start writing here properly. So anyone wants to answer. When this line is executed, hs.add, when you are adding the element, what will your JVM call? Will JVM call the hash code method or equals h or this? Okay, it is the answer. I just got one answer here, multiple answers. So here, let's start with that. So this is the beginning of the hashing algorithm. So JVM invokes hash code. Okay. So this hash code, who has supplied this hash code function? You have two options, programmer or Java supplied, P or J. Java supplied hash code function. Guys, we have overridden. Okay, let me say this properly. Are we using the inherited object class as hash code or the overriding one? Overriding one. So here, hash code programmer, overridden by programmer. Are you getting this? So this is what it will call. So after calling this hash code, here JVM has to first figure out which bucket to check. So here, after calling the hash code function, now JVM further invokes the internal hash function. So this hash function is JVM supplied. So don't make any wrong, understanding or misunderstanding. The hash code method you override, so that is your contribution. But if you write a horrible hash code, if you write something like a large hash code value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then of course it is not going to fit in this bucket. So here it invokes the internal hash function JVM supplied, which is based upon some reducing. Hashing is what? Basically reducing the large object or larger data structure, larger value to a fixed size value. So based upon some bit operations. Basically, it uses the ANDing and masking. It ANDs particular bits. For simplicity's sake, it will use it to fit it within current what? Hash table capacity. So in short, you can think of it as a simple thing as a modulo function. But is it a really a modulo function internally? Internally, it is something else. I'll show you that function on Monday when you have settled a little bit more on this. So how many hashing functions your JVM is going to call? Is it 1 or 2? Answer is 2 functions. 2 is the correct answer. 1 is a wrong answer. So first is it will call hash code. You have seen this, guys. So one thing I have already shown you. Have you not understood this? This is hash code function it has already called. But in addition to that internal hash function, I'll show you little later or maybe directly on Monday. So that is this is what. And finally, this is called to derive what? To derive the bucket ID. So you can write it as a formula. So here, bucket ID is equal to the, so I'll now write in a manner which you will understand. So here I'm saying hs.add e1. So it will call e1.hashcode. How do you know what I'm saying is correct or not? That is where I have explained. That is why I've written all those SOP and further pass it to hashing function or hash function, internal hash function. Example, I'm just giving as a simplified example. Think of it as a modulo. Okay, modulo operator or the remainder operator, hash function, and the bucket ID is found out. So now answer the question, simple question. In the first example, when I had given the constant value 100, so suppose 100 modulo, if I use, actually it is not a modulo function, but if I simplify it as modulo, what is the value of 100 modulo current capacity? Current capacity is 16. So what is the value of 100 modulo 16? Simple question, simple answer. 4. Everyone knows it's a remainder. Internally, it is a bit masking and ending function. So here, your JVM derives the bucket ID. Okay, so this is how the first thing, anytime you say add, which is the method which will always get called is hash code. So now you have JVM has derived the bucket ID. Currently, it is 4. Anything it can be between 0 to 15. So now, what is the next step JVM does? So here, JVM checks. JVM means hashing implementer checks. JVM checks. We are going to draw this here, but first I'll explain and then we will do that. JVM checks if bucket is empty or non-empty. Okay, so JVM is going to find out whether that bucket which is followed, which is derived from this bucket ID, which is involving 2 hash functions, one hash code function you supplied, user supplied, programmer supplied, and the other one is the internal hash function. So draw the branches here. We are writing a flow chart. So tell me, if it is the first time you are inserting the element, will the bucket be empty or non-empty? Simple question, simple answer. Of course, it is going to be empty. So draw 2 these things. Here, show the 2 operations, empty or non-empty. So anyone wants to tell me, how will JVM know it is empty or not? Anyone wants to answer that? How will it know that it is empty? Absolutely correct. This one, Prashant Suprabha, it is based on null. If your slot is containing null, that means the bucket is empty. Or the other option is non-empty, which is not null naturally. So currently we are not into this branch. Okay. So this is the 2 branches. So now answer the next question. If the bucket itself is empty, do you think the JVM will have to call the additionally equals method to find out is it a duplicate or not duplicate, or can it directly insert the element? Equals method is required to be called or not required to be called? It is not required to be called. So you are absolutely right in answering that. You have the observation. That is why I showed you first. So here, JVM is happy. When I say JVM is happy, it is time performant. Okay. So JVM. Now, I hope I'll write this, but I hope you have understood. Now the searching is reduced only to a 1 bucket. It doesn't have to search in all the buckets. The searching is narrowed only to a single bucket. So JVM adds the element. Okay. So in short, equals method is not required to be called. When element is added, what does that add method return? Anyone wants to answer that? If the element is added, hs.add method will return true. And this is without any equals method getting called. So this is the branch which supplies, or which is without any hash collisions, without any additional checking of equals method. It is only based on hashing, I mean the hash code function and the internal hash function. So tell me if this branch is clear so far. And I'm going to show you in the memory picture we are going to draw what really happens. Is it clear? So now here, like I said, I'm going to show you this all in proper steps, proper time. So here, now let us say, suppose the bucket ID was 4. If it was 100, for example, you can think of any this. So now here, this is going to create a node. Node doesn't get created in the bucket. Bucket is going to store the reference to the first node. So draw with me, along with me, our first node. This node has 3 sections. So first one, I mean, when I say sections and all, what I mean is contains. Later, I'll show you that. So it is going to maintain the hash value, which is the output of that secondary hash function. The hash value then is the element, which is the element we are inserting, element reference E1, and the pointer to the next node. This is a singly linked list. This is the head node of your singly linked list. So anyone wants to tell me what will be the value of the next pointer? Null or not null? Of course, it is going to be null because this is the only node inserted so far. So the next pointer will be null. And here, show it properly. I mean, I've shown it, but let me say this. And this address of the node, the head node or the first node, is going to be stored in this bucket. Clear or not clear? Okay, so this is what is happening in the scenario. Now, the assumption is, be clear with the assumption. Here I have given you in writing. Only mandatory part of the contract is followed. That is the hash code value is 100. So now you are going to help me in solving the next one. So here, now I'm saying, suppose this is the statement we are calling. Okay, there is the control is here. So when I say hs.add new employee rnd003 and abc2 and 1000. So you tell me now you start participating. So JVM is going to call the same hashing algorithm. So tell me, which is the method it will call? Hash code or equals? Initially, I'm saying initially always hash code. So this time, change this to e2.hashcode. I hope you are understanding this. I'll just remove this E1 and replace it by E2. So do it properly. You can just erase it, or I don't know how you're maintaining it. Just for your understanding, I'm saying it will call e2.hashcode. Okay. So now from e2.hashcode, like I said, simplification formula is modulo. So after that, it will call the internal hash function. And now what is the value of the hash code is 100. So tell me, listen to the question and tell me, is JVM going to come to the same bucket? What will be the bucket ID? If I've said 100 and if suppose the that internal hash function is modulo, will it come to the same bucket or a different bucket? I said I don't think you have understood my question. Here we are talking about the case hash code I have given as 100 all the time. So will it come to the same bucket ID or different bucket ID? Of course, same bucket ID. Are you not understanding this? I'm saying whatever may be the internal formula, the moment you have the same hash code value, of course it is going to come to the same bucket. So now tell me, JVM will check bucket empty or non-empty. So will you come in the empty case or non-empty branch? What will be the bucket ID? 4. So non-empty branch. So now tell me, think and answer. Can your JVM directly conclude that the element exists, or does it have to check further? Answer is it has to check further. So tell me now, in this branch, which is the additional method it will have to call? Equals method. Very right. So add here, anytime your JVM comes to the non-empty branch, This is the condition which we call it in our jargon as hash collision. Hash collision is detected. All these things I'll write separately. So here, just mention the flowchart. So here, JVM has to call invokes equals. Are you understanding this? So JVM has to call the equals method. So anyone wants to tell me what it will call? I mean something dot equals something. So can you give me the, can you fill in the blanks? I'm adding E2 now. So exactly, Prashant has got it right. So E1 dot equals E2, or it is symmetric. You can say E2 dot equals E1. It is the symmetric one. So invokes the equals method. So now tell me, okay, let me say it generally. So equals method is a Boolean returning method. So there is a possibility. I'm not asking you currently. I'm just saying generally. So equals method may return true or it may return false here. Just a second. Okay, so now tell me, look at the inputs and tell me E1's ID was RND001, E2's ID is 003. So what will equals method return? You tell me. In current case, true or false? Everyone understands it? Equals method returns false. So here we are into this branch. So the moment equals method, and how many times it is calling? There's only one element here. So it will simply call E1 dot equals E2 calls false. So now tell me, what does it imply? If the control comes here, just a second, what does it imply? Is the duplicate detector, is it a new element or is it a duplicate? New or duplicate? Answer is, it is a new element. So here add the, mention it, here JVM adds the element in the same bucket, and when the element is added, the add method returns true. It returns true. So here is, this is the false branch. You got it? Now you have to, so this is the flowchart part of it. Anyone wants to tell me, how should I draw it in the memory picture? Anyone wants? So I have to draw the new node. So that new node, will it be the part of the same linked list or a different linked list? Of course, same. Everyone I hope is getting. So now I don't want to waste your time at all too much. So here, show the another node, please. It will have the hash value E2 and null pointer to the next node. And you tell me, will this be will this remain null or will it be not null? Of course, it will be not null. It will maintain the pointer to the next node. So draw it properly. So this is the next pointer and show it here. The next pointer is pointing to the next node here. So this is pointing to the next node. Making sense? Understanding this? Like I said, once you have done the IDS part, this should not take you too much time to understand. Okay. So now we can fast forward it. So this part is done. Now you will drive. I'll just verbally say this, otherwise it wastes too much of our session time. So now third time. So this is done. Okay. Now I'm asking you for the next one. So now the control is on the next line. So when I say this, you will start responding now. So can you tell me what is the, let's call it as, this was E1, E2, E3, E4. Okay, label it accordingly. So now tell me, what will be the first method your JVM will call? Hash code. I want a better answer. Of course, you are right, but something dot hash code. So what is that something? I told you, it is E1, E2, E3, E4. So something dot hash code, E3 dot hash code. Perfect. Have we followed? What is the hash code value it is going to return? 100. Okay, same value. So tell me, if the hash code is 100, whatever internal formula, is the bucket ID going to be the same or is it going to be the different one? Same or different? Same. Everyone understands me. So now tell me whether it will come to the empty branch or non-empty branch. Everyone is understanding? Non-empty branch. So now, how many times it will have to call equals? You know the answer already. 2 times. Why? Because there are 2 earlier nodes here. And this is a new node. So first it will call E1 dot equals E3 returns false. But JVM it just doesn't give up. Then it will check, is it same as the next node? So what is it we are having? We are having again linear searching. And that is what you have observed in observations.txt. So this is giving rise to your, this is killing the performance of the hashing algorithm by reducing it from the time complexity is increased actually from O1 to ON. I hope you're getting it. In short, E1 dot equals false. I'm so sorry. E1 dot equals E3 is false. E2 dot equals E3 is false. So now tell me, will the element E3 get added into the bucket or will it not get added in the bucket? Gets added. But at the cost of what? At the cost of 2 equals method. So I think people are getting it. I hope you are getting it. So now just do it correctly, do it fast. So remove this, replace it by the next pointer to the next node. And then you show this here. It is going to point to the next node you show it as your hash value, then the E3, and then the pointer to the next node is of course null and connected. I told you it is nothing but your singly linked list. So here JVM adds the element, but after calling the this thing, what you say, equals method multiple times. The last one, and then we can talk about something else. Something else means the second part, the load factor part and on that. Anyway, so now you tell me the last, I think last one, yeah. So you are going to drive it. So let me call this as E4. Okay. So tell me, what is the first method your JVM will call? Everyone knows E4 dot hash code. Since I have given the same hash code, bucket ID will be same bucket ID or different bucket ID. So guys, I hope you are understanding, even though you have got 16 buckets, because of your horribly written hash function, you are inducing loads of hash collision. And more the number of hash collisions versus the performance. Performance is degraded. So let us repeat the story for the last time. So here, so it will call E4 dot hash code. Perfect. Comes to the non-empty bucket. And now tell me what it will call. Of course, it will call equals. I know that. Something dot equals something. Yes, please. It will call, fill in the blanks. What will be the invoker and argument? Absolutely. E1 dot equals E4. Or you can say E4 dot equals E1. It is also metric. So now tell me, E1's employee ID is RND001. E4's employee ID is the same. So what will equals method return? True or false? Equals method is going to return true. So here is the last branch to understand or to this. So now tell me, is JVM stupid enough or dumb enough? Even after getting that true value, will it continue with the rest of the nodes checking, or will it simply abort the search and detect the duplicate? Answer is, it will abort the search. Why should it go ahead? Because it has already found the duplicate. And HashSet is all about removing the duplicates. So mention the last thing. So this indicates, sorry. So here it is. So duplicate is detected. That's why I told you to, draw along with me, because after looking at it, the whole picture later becomes a little confusing. Duplicate is detected. JVM does not add the element. And the moment the element is not added, what does the add method return? Will it return true or will it return false? Everyone knows the answer. The add method returns false. So this is the explanation of the first half of observations.txt. So check whether your understanding is matching with the output. So this was the first one. Then it called for the first time employee equals. And when you kept on adding it, it is calling this multiple times. Understood so far or not? I hope you are drawing, you are drawing along with all clear. So this is what it is. So now tell me, when you follow the mandatory part of the contract, saying equal objects are producing the same hash code, the hashing, the duplicates are detected fine. But is it resulting into a constant time performance? Absolutely not. So tell me, what is desirable? Is it desirable to add all the elements in the single bucket, or is it desirable to distribute it evenly, uniformly across all the buckets? It's a obvious question. Uniform distribution is always warranted, and that is the reason we follow the optional part of the contract also, saying that what do you say, unequal objects producing unequal hash code, distinct hash code, different hash code. So now we don't, I mean, if I start drawing it all over again, it becomes too difficult. So now tell me, imagine that we've done this. You have seen the observations also. I'm just trying to tell you to what? To understand this. So listen to this. Suppose now the hash code is not 100, but hash code is id.hashcode. So the moment your hash code value is id.hashcode, are we following mandatory as well as optional branches of the contract? It's a Boolean question, yes or no. Okay, so start with that assumption. I'm not going to redraw it because it takes too much time. So just imagine that the hash code is now different. So now tell me, now we are repeating the story. So first time I said E1, E2, E3, E4. Okay, go accordingly. So here, what will be the first time it will call? E1.hashcode. From that hash code, it will go to some bucket first time. So naturally bucket will be empty. Element will get added. Understood about the first insertion? First insertion, there's no difference. Now, when you say E2.hashcode, it is based on ID. So the moment ID is different, tell me, is it going to go to the same bucket as earlier, or is it going to go to the different bucket this time? Of course, different bucket. And the moment it is different bucket, it is an empty one. Exactly. Yes, the empty one. Will it have to call the equals method and increase the time complexity? Absolutely not. So as much as possible, JVM is going to come into this branch. And the moment you say element, I mean, it doesn't have to call the equals method because bucket is empty. So can anyone tell me, in this case, are you going to get a uniform distribution of your elements, or only one bucket is loaded with all the elements? Easy question, uniform distribution. And that is what, guys, you had observed. See this, you know, this is what is your observation. Read this carefully. Equal objects producing same hash code compulsory, but unequal objects producing different hash code. The different hash code means leading to different bucket ID. Means what? Reducing hash collisions or increasing hash collisions? Reducing hash collisions, and that is what is giving rise to a constant time performance. Why don't you observe? So this is the first insertion. Second insertion was with a different ID. So in hash code, added true. In hash code, added true. Here, of course, why it had to call equals? Because we had given the same ID. So naturally, the equals method had to be called. But otherwise, is it also giving you? Is it detecting the duplicates? Very much yes. You did not see any duplicate element here. Plus, is it also giving you the constant time performance? Very much yes. So this is what is of course recommended, and the whole discussion is given so nicely in your equals and hash code methods of your object class. So this is the first part of understanding. Have you understood it so far? Have you understood it slightly? So now I'm going to show you something which will concrete your understanding. I have not discussed the load factor. Give me some time. I'll come to the load factor also. So now guys, open your code. Everything first you have to understand in code, and then we like to understand the internals also. So now I'll send you something. Wait a second. I'll send you my sequence. Date time, I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, I'll send you. Just give me a minute. I'm sending you something here, which will I'm going to ask you on actually the question based on it. Wait a second. So here, yeah, I've sent you sequence.txt. Let me know. Just download it and open it. Tell me when you are ready. So I'll start explaining. Okay, so go to the end of the sequence file. Go to the end of the sequence.txt, please. And there I have just Googled it. You can also Google strings having the same hash code. So tell me, look at my answer the question. Here, if these are the two strings, AA and BB, so let me call it as S1, let me call it as S2. So here, if I say S1 dot equals S2, true or false? Think and answer. Somebody saying, okay, somebody saying true. Guys, S1 dot equals S2. Come on, they are different character sequence, false. But S1 dot hash code, is it going to be same as S2 dot hash code? Answer is yes. These are very, very rare cases, one in million kind of a thing. But I have a point to prove. So of course that it is. Similarly, tell me, S1 dot equals S2. True or false? False. S1 dot hash code. Is it same as S2 dot hash code? Answer is yes. So let me jump to this part directly. Let me call it as, I'm going to prove it to you. Don't worry. We are going to confirm it together. S1, S2, S3, S4. Okay, let me label. So S1 dot equals S4. Answer, true or false? False. S1 dot equals S2, false. S1 dot equals S3, false. But all of them, are they going to have the same hash code or different hash code? These are the rarest combinations which have the same hash code. Okay, let us keep one thing at a time. Now, guys, so I have given you, everyone has got it. You can copy this. Don't copy the earlier ones. Copy these four. And now, this is your acid test. Acid test, when I say, this is actually for me to check whether you have understood or not. So now let me go slow. First is make a copy. And don't spoil your earlier code. So you can say Control-Shift-W, close everything. Just observe once employee.java. Open. I hope you're not making mistake. In assets2 employee.java, take a look at it and tell me, here, have we, which branches of the contract have you followed? Mandatory, optional, both or none? Answer is both. Everyone agrees with me? So zero confusion. Okay. Now I'll give you the next instruction. Please copy test employee set into employee set 2. Just make a copy. You let me know whenever you have done this. Copy test employee set to test employee set 2. Done? Great. Now I should say copy those special strings having the same hash code value. These are different strings, but having the same hash code value. So just open that employee set 2, please. And here, just paste it. And now I'm telling you to use it. Okay. So pick up the first one. Oh, if you are not managing it, I don't think so, but I can always give you something. I can share the code in a minute. Just making the changes here. Doesn't matter really. And then I'm saying something else. I'm just confirming your understanding and all that. So let's say this E5, E6. I don't even require. Let us add that. Let me just play with the data, guys. Give me a second here. I don't require this E6. Lesser is better. And I don't want these answers. Okay. Yeah, you can always change the answers. Give me a second here. E6 we don't have. Size of the set. You can supply whatever you like. Set contents, you can tell me. And something before that, I'll show you. I need to show you that. I'll just take something. E1 dot equals. Oh, no, sorry. My mistake. I should do this. Otherwise, people don't understand whatever I'm asking. Equals. You don't have to type it. I'm going to give you this in a minute anyway. And here, I'm just adding the hash code values. It doesn't matter whether it is a literal or non-literal. We're calling the API here. Okay, so just a second. E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, fine. And here, these answers, we are going to change it or we are going to see this. So I'll just remove it. And you will tell me whatever it is. You can actually, I can remove the whole. Because we are starting this whole checking from scratch. And one more case I will still add. I was not going to do that. Okay. Like this equals this hash code this. Okay, ABCD. And have I just done this? Okay, so let me give you this code. I think I have got whatever I wanted to say. Let's do this. Let me share this code with you. Otherwise, you might have a different data set and you might you might get confused or like give me wrong answers. You're not supposed to run it, by the way. Please don't run it. Day 15.1 SRC sets 2 and employee set 2. Yeah, I've sent you this. And employee class is the same, which is having both the branches of the contract done. So let me start asking you questions. You can download it parallelly. Anyone wants to answer? What will be the answer here on line number 18? It's just a true or false. You can take the code. I'll wait for you. Still till everyone. Okay, people are already answering. Of course, it is going to be false. And here I have a question. I have already answered this multiple times. Are you expecting the same hash code or different hash code? It's the same hash code. Okay. So this is having said this. Now you take your full time. I am not at all pressurizing you, hurrying you, because this will tell me really whether you have understood whatever I have said so far. So let us say this. So here, first answer, true or false? Added true or added false? Go slow. Take your own time. Are you understanding which line I'm asking about? Line number 21. So this is, of course, it is going to say added true. So now tell me, see how many times hash code gets called? That is fixed. Hash code always gets called one time. So you just tell me equals method will be called or not called. Answer is not called. This is the first entry, guys. The whole hash table is empty. So equal method doesn't get called at all. So I'll say equals 0 time. So no hash collision detected. Are we good so far? Is everyone with me? Has everyone understood it so far? Zero confusion? Great. Now tell me, simple, same things I'm going to ask you. emps.add e2, true or false? Okay, somebody saying false. Please, guys, here 4 times B and this. What is it going to be? Is it the same employee ID or different employee ID? Different employee ID. The equals method is going to return false. I mean, it's this. So, of course, this is going to, I mean, it's a new element, new employee. So, true. Hash code, everyone knows. I'll just copy this. Okay. So, hash code method gets called 100%. Equals method, will it get called at all or will it not get called at all? Answer is very right. Are you understanding the efforts I'm taking? The efforts in the sense I'm giving you the values of the hash code, the string examples where the hash code value is the same. So the moment I say same, it is going to go to the same bucket ID, obviously. So here is the classic case of hash collision. Test further. Now I think you will get it. I hope you will get it. So tell me now, in this case, give me 3 answers. True or false? How many times hash code? How many times equals? Give me 3 answers. I got the correct answer already. Of course, element is added because this ID is different than earlier ones. Obviously, it's a different string, different character sequence. There's no question about hash code. Hash code will get called, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not. And now, since it is the part of the same bucket, guys, don't misunderstand me. We have done our bit correctly. We have already followed both the parts of the contract, but this is a 1 in a million kind of a chances where I'm taking the different strings but with the same hash code value. So here equals method will get called 2 times. You are absolutely right. Now go further. So which one where we had reached? Okay, E4. So tell me, guys, now here for E4. You know the answer. Keep the answer ready. Yes. So again, you are getting in the rarest combination. Here container doesn't help you, cannot help you because you have chosen the strings which are extremely rare, but having this. So this is your, what do you say? Linear searching, linear increasing. Now, let's say E5. Yes, please. So let's say false and 1. Very right. I'm so happy that you're giving me the correct answer. I'll just pick up something which is easier to copy. Why it is false? I hope you understood this. E5. So this record is already here. If I had picked up this, then of course it will be false, but equals method would have got called twice. Okay, so hash code once and equals once, right? Sorry, this is false. You know, in copy pasting, if I make a mistake, do shout. So this is what is correct. And now tell me about E6. Yes, please. ABCD is not having the same value at all. Yes, it is true. And here, hash code of course gets called once and equal method doesn't get called at all, knowing that it is a different bucket. And then you compute the size. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Size will be 5. And you can see those set contents in a non-duplicate manner. This is what is, I hope, is fun, is what is interesting. And this is what should give you the idea about the internals totally. And don't worry, this is the extremely rare occurrences. So it's not going to hurt you really in actual examples. This is only for understanding purpose. Check. So the equals method returned false. So they are different strings, but are they having the same hash code or different hash code? I have chosen the strings. I'm coming to that. It is already going to get repeated here, E6. So here, E6, have I messed up? Wait a second. Oh, E6 you did not understand. Anyway, I'll just talk about it with here. So coming back to the point. So here, this part, I think everyone has understood. This was the first insertion. All entire hash table was empty. Now here in hash code, here it has called the equals ones because I have chosen the rarest strings, rarest combination of the strings, 1 in million types, which has different, same hash code different by this. So element is added, but with one hash collision. Can you see this? Again, we are forcing the same bucket. So naturally, it is increasing in the linear manner. Just to explain, just to confirm, what we are saying is correct. And likewise, here, element still got added. Now see, I had given the duplicate string, duplicate employee ID. So added false. And somebody was asking me for the last one. Guys, here, look at this, E6. Somebody asked me the question on E6. What is the employee ID, ABCD? Is it having the same hash code value as earlier? If you are having doubts, just SOP. Just take some effort on your own. ABCD.hashcode, it will be definitely different than this. The moment you have a different hash code, will JVM come to the same bucket or a different bucket? Of course, a different bucket. Different means empty or non-empty. Empty one. And do you realize this? So it calls in hash code. There's nothing, null value sitting there. So will element get added directly, or does it have to call any equals method? There's no need to equals method at all. So the element got added, and the rest of the statements you already understand. So tell me, is it a POC? Is it a proof of concept of understanding of your hashing algorithm? I'm just taking a lot of time here with the different data sets to tell you what is happening inside. Are we settled? Are we clear so far? At least 50%. Has it reached you? That's great to know, Girish, if the acid test is passed. Okay, so reach here, reach 50% at least. 100% will come only when you take the efforts, you do the self-study and all that. So coming back to the point. So now, this was the rarest case. So after your, now imagine, I'm not going to draw the picture again because it takes a lot of time. So now imagine these rarest strings you have not given and your hash code values are different. So maximum how many elements can be added to this hash table without causing a hash collision? Everyone understands it? 16 is the answer. I said how many elements can be added. I did not ask you how many elements per bucket. I said totally what? 16. Everyone agrees? And from the 17th element onwards, will it again come across hash collisions or no hash collisions? A hash collision will be detected. Understood me? So now let us go slow over this. So coming back to the diagram part of it is JVM coming to the non-empty branch. JVM coming across the non-empty branch is identified as the hash collision. You know the terminology. So this is, label it as, I'll share the entire diagram. Of course, this is the hash collision. And you answer, sorry, my simple question. Increased number of more and more hash collisions, will it improve the performance or will it degrade the performance? Of course, it will reduce, it will degrade the performance. Sorry, here I wanted to say hash collision. So this is where the load factor comes into the picture. Guys, if you recall, I had just talked about initial capacity and the hashing algorithm, but I never discussed the load factor. So don't worry. You keep adding the elements and you will see again you will still enjoy the constant time performance unless until you give the some strings like something which I showed you, which is a rare combination. So here now the last part of the HashMap, not HashMap, HashSet today. So here the significance of the load factor. So JVM, the whole job of hashing algorithm is to guarantee the constant time performance. I mean, close to constant time performance. So JVM does something called as rehashing. So let's do that whenever whenever the hash table, I'm saying hash table because hash table is the concept here. The name of the class is HashSet, but basically it is based on hash table concept. So whenever hash table is 75% full. Why I'm saying 75% full? Because the load factor, default load factor value is 75% full. But this is a loose statement. So what is the actual formula it uses? So the actual formula is whenever, you might be knowing this already, whenever the size of the hash table. So let me ask you, when I say size, is it going to compute the size of the one single linked list, or is it going to is it going to find out the total number of references? What is size of the hash set? Total number of references. Okay, so whenever the size of the hash set is greater than the product of capacity, whatever is the current capacity, into a load factor. So what is the current capacity? 16. What is the load factor? Default value of a load factor? 75%. So what is 3 by 4 basically? So what is that? What is the 16's 75%? 12. So anytime, whenever the size of the hash table increases beyond this, JVM understands that now there is a probability of having a hash collision. So here at this point, JVM applies rehashing. Okay, so what happens during a rehashing? You must be knowing this already. It could be a repeat run for all of you, but I'm still explaining from scratch. Anyone wants to tell me, when you say rehashing, what will happen? The name itself is suggestive. Will your JVM continue with the same data structure, same hash table, or will it create the new one, a different one? Double hashing means second round of hashing. So here I'll give you in steps. So JVM creates a new empty hash table. But will it be created with the same capacity or larger capacity? It's all what is it called? The common sense based. Of course, larger the capacity. Of course, there's a formula. So it is approximately. Why approximately? I'll tell you. Twice the number. Approximately twice the size of original table, original hash table. Okay. Why I said approximately? I'll tell you. There is another constructor of a hash set where you can supply the initial capacity. So suppose you have supplied the initial capacity as, let's say, 50. Okay, so 52s are 100. So that won't increase to 100. It will be rounded off to the closest power of 2. So that is 128. So the capacity will be typically increased to power of 2. That is why I said approximate. But currently we are using 16. So 16 becomes 32. 32 becomes 64. 128 likewise. So creates a new empty hash table, twice the size of the original. Twice the size is wrong word, horribly wrong word, capacity of the original table, and copies and computes entire hashing algorithm to add the entries. Actually, entries is a wrong word, to add the references into the new hash table. So think in numbers. Suppose there were only 16 buckets, and now the buckets were kind of full. That is where you applied, you came to the rehashing stage. So if the number of buckets have increased to 32, tell me, will it result into same number of hash collisions, or will it reduce the hash collisions? Of course, it will end up resulting into, to add the references into this, so resulting into lesser hash collisions. And the lesser the hash collisions, the performance is improved. So guys, this is the, what do you say? This is the impact of your load factor. So 3 things which you should understand together, I'll share this picture in a minute, is the size, which is pretty easy. This, the entire working of the hash table along with the hashing algorithm. the impact of the current capacity or whatever that capacity and the load factor. So these are the improvements, or these are the, what you say, these are the things which are already supplied by JVM to guarantee or to ensure the constant time performance thanks to this rehashing and thanks to this hashing algorithm. So I'll just send you this picture in case you have not drawn. And you will have another revision of it on Monday when I take you from HashSet to something called as HashMap. Because it is the same. HashSet internally maintains HashMap, the instance of the HashMap. All those things will become clearer later. So I'm sending you this picture. You just, I'll wait here for a minute and you check this rehashing part also, or the impact or the significance of what? Your load factor. Are you understanding this? Is the rehashing part clear? The second half, which I said. Anyway, you take your time on that. Only one I got. What about others? Is it not clear? You've done it. Okay. Have you understood it at least slightly? Okay. So this is basically the internals of HashSet. And like I said, you'll get another revision when I discuss the hash map on Monday morning, or I mean morning or not, I don't know, but sometime in Monday, we'll definitely do that. So there are further improvements, but those further improvements, such as this linked list getting converted into tree nodes and all, that I will discuss later, of course, time permitting. But this basic structure has to be cleared with everyone. We will definitely have a revision on a Monday. So this is what I wanted to show you under hashing algorithm or under this. So I just want to create one more second line. On second line also capacity. Yes. So make those changes if I have made a site somewhere. Which second line you are talking about? Let me say this. Somebody said Abhijit, I guess. Here, whenever the size of the hash table, no, Abhijit, you are completely wrong. Here it is capacity only. Here it is size only. Total number of entries I've written. Read it carefully. Total number of references is not capacity, it is the size. So this is correct. Whenever the size of the hash table is more than capacity into load factor. Yes, no, I'm correct there. There's no nesting. It is not using the nesting based. I did not understand which nesting. This is not, this is the kind of, this is the hashing algorithm which your JVM uses in implementation of a hash table. That is what is the implementation node. Like I said, it is too much internal, but it gives you a different level of clarity when you understand this. So this was one explanation. Now I just want to do something and then we'll move on to link hash set. So close all of that and create another copy. Let's make another copy. Copy the sets 2 into sets 3. I have a point here. So just make a copy. Sets 2 into sets 3. Here, remove those rare combinations. That job is done earlier. I have something else to tell you. So now you let me know whether you have done these changes. Just copy sets 2 into sets 3, employee.java, test employee set.java, so that I can give you the further instructions. Okay, so now open employee. First say Control Shift W. Otherwise, you'll get confused and change some wrong copy. Close all and now open employee.java and answer my question. Are we using here simple now database jargon? Are we using here simple primary key or composite primary key? Everyone understands me? Why? Because it is a single field based. So now I'm giving you time. I am giving you a question and giving you time to solve it. So because you will require it all. Guys, when I take you to advanced Java, there are two important frameworks you're going to learn. One is Hibernate and one is Spring. And that will be definitely used as your project technologies along with REST APIs. So your front end, you already know React, and the back end is going to be Spring Boot using something like Spring Data JPA. That will give you the full stack application. Anyway, all these things I'll say it in the advanced Java. Let me not confuse you. In short, whatever you are learning here will definitely have a value when I explain Hibernate. So coming back to the point, let me stick to the point. I am saying, let's have a composite primary key. Means what? I'll give you the meaning. So the primary key till now was only ID. Now it is ID and name. Both are of the same type. Okay, let's change it. Okay, let's make it a small change. Just add a but okay, ID and salary. I was going to, I'll tell you what I was thinking about. I was thinking about adding a data member date of birth. So let us not do that. Let's say ID and salary. Okay, ID and salary is fine. And here I'm just saying primary key is this. So this definitely implies composite primary key. So let me explain. I don't think you require explanation. When will you say two employees are same? Yeah, department ID is also fine. So shall we add that field? But you know why I'm not adding that this one? Who was that? Girish. Because then I'll have to change I'll have to make a lot of changes. Okay, that is the only thing I'm just resisting. Otherwise, it's fine. So I want to stick to the current example. So when will I say two employees are same? If and only if ID and salary is the same. You got me? So now tell me, let's see. So I'm giving you 5 minutes. The moment I say this, it's a composite primary key. That is, two employees are same if and only if ID and salary is same. I hope things are clear. So once I give you this business rule, can you tell me, okay, don't tell me, you do that. I'm giving you 5 minutes or 5-10 minutes, whatever. Will you need to make any changes? Answer is yes. So you do the changes, whatever you want, and I'll give you the test case. So let me give you the test case, one sec. So R&D, I'll take the 4 or 5 combinations. So now different this, same salary, then the same ID, different salary, same ID, same salary, and the different this and different salary. Okay, I don't require the 5th one. Just give me a second here. Now it is not about all this. It is just about, I don't want you to even, you don't have to look at this. That part we have covered. I'll draw this, not hash code one, but the true or false one. 2 seconds. So you don't require this. Okay, wait a second. So here is this thing. Here ID is different, salary is the same. Here ID is same, salary is different. Here ID and salary both are same, and here both are different. Okay, so now tell me, I think I have covered all the cases. So don't tell me about equals and hash code. That part we have done. So as a test case, what should be the answer here? Then only you can conclude that your test cases have all passed. So here, true or false? Just tell me equals method, true or false. I'm so sorry. I mean here, employees.add, true or false. Just tell me that. It is true. It's the first question is always easy. Don't tell me equals and hash code becomes too complex. Here, this is what you should have. Tell me, E2, what it should have, true or false? Okay, true. Next one, E3. Yes, please. I hope you are giving me the correct answer. 3 is also true. And the 4th one, E4, 001, and this, false it should come. And here both different, it should be true. Okay, so I've sent you this. I mean, okay, I'll give you this code. And I'm giving you 5-10 minutes. Make it work. This test cases, I mean, I've given you the test cases, they should pass. So, no, not here. Start working on your employee.java. SRC sets 3, and here I've sent you the test case. So all the test cases should pass. Do it. This is the last example of this kind, and then we'll move to something like linked hash set, tree set, and all that. Where I should scroll down? Here, I have not changed anything. You are supposed to change it. In employee class, done. Very good, Prashant. So here, for reference. Okay, so E3 is giving false. Have I made a mistake? E3 001. No. I did you not understand my question? This is the output I want. I said this is the output I want. So make the changes in that employee.java accordingly. Change from simple primary key to composite primary key. Okay, yes, sure, Suyash. So you have to make the change. That is what I'm waiting for. Make sure that all these test cases pass. As in, I want it as four truths and then false. I mean, first three true, then false, and then true again. And you are not supposed to generate it, guys. I'll know the minute I see your code, I'll know whether you have written it on your own or have you generated it. I'm not accepting the ID generated solution at all. Because that is when you are not thinking, you're taking the ID's help. And in technical interview round, sometimes you get whiteboard interviews. That is, you have to write things. Don't have the ID. So I hope those who are saying done have actually written it. You have written it. Very good, Pushkaraj. I'm waiting for another 5 minutes. So more and more people will try it. Has everyone understood the question? Nobody is confused. Okay, people are saying done. That means they must have understood the question. Okay, very good, guys. And when you say done, I hope you have tested this also by running this test cases, running these code samples. I'll just wait for another couple of minutes and then I'll start writing with your inputs. What about others? Those who have done it, very good, excellent, keep it up. But I need to look at others also. I hope you are trying at least. Okay, let me start asking you questions. So here, everyone has this set. See, I'll be sharing this code soon. So tell me, the moment I change my primary key testing criteria from ID to ID and salary, what is the first step you will take? I've given you in steps that contract diagram tells you how. So tell me, change or no change? Simple question, simple answer. This equals method, do you have to change or no change? Of course, you have a change here. So instead of testing only one field, you're going to test it both the fields, right? So in such case, instead of having the complex, typecasting doing 2 times and all, this is the suggestion generally I offer. If you have written it differently, you don't have to. But this is my suggestion for a multi-field kind of a thing. So we will do the downcasting exactly once, and you will see that this reduces it. So I can say e.id, and here and what is it we are going to do is this thing I'm sorry, what is that? Salary. You can say this dot salary, and salary is what? Primitive type or the reference type? Primitive type or the reference type? It is the primitive type. So how will I compare two salaries using equals or double equal to? Double equal to. Primitive types are the value holder types. So double equal to e dot salary. So tell me, if O instance of employee, I just change it to employee. I just downcasted. Otherwise, if you have written it, you must have downcasted it 2 times. So I just simplified it. Is everyone clear so far? Is equals method correct as far as all? I mean, is it understood by all of you? Okay. So now tell me, do you need to change this hash code or the same one? Change or no change in the hash code? I need the answer. Boolean question. Change or no change? Tell me something. Answer is, of course, change. Guys, you are completely wrong if you are saying no change. That those who are saying no change and you have done it, these are only the limited test cases it will pass. The moment I have a similar hash code and all those things, your code will fail. See the whole part is here. Some of you gave me the wrong answer, so I have to again repeat it. Here I have given you all this, how to do that. So here, identify the data members and override equals and use the same data members in overriding the hash code method. Currently with the limited cases, it might work, but the moment you have a different cases which have similar salaries and all, it will all fail. So this will also have to change. So what happens is, now I'll tell you something more. Anytime if you use some prime numbers, everyone knows prime versus composite. So if you have the prime numbers are the ones which are having no factors other than 1 and the number itself, right? So if you use some prime numbers, then it generally gives you the better separation in the hash table, and better separation leads to lesser hash collisions. So here, suppose I say int result something. So this result has to be based upon, this is fine. So ID hash code. And then you can use any formula, any mathematical formula, which has ID and which is the other part of the composite primary key, salary. So this should have the salary also. But this whole result, so suppose if I say salary, then the anything which you, if the one operand is double, the whole result is double. So here you can do the typecasting. There are different ways. This is also not a foolproof solution, because one salary is like 100.1 and 100.2. Then it might when you just cast it from this, both the answers will be 100. But this is reliable one. This is sufficiently correct one, and then you can return this result. The point I wanted to highlight was, whatever fields you use in overriding the equals, matplotlib will not work, Rohit. How will it work? It has to have the salary. So salary field has to be employed. So I did not know what you meant by that. Math.random, there's no guarantee that it will not produce the duplicate values. It can come across the duplicate values. So here, so this is what, not hash code, I mean the random values, you have a UUID, unique identifier, but that is not what we are discussing here. So random is the wrong answer basically. I said if you use math.random, there is no guarantee that it will give you the duplicate. It will give you the distinct values. So don't use that. So the formula has to be based upon the employee ID and the salary also. And then you are returning the result. And then you can just run it for these test cases. And you can see that. You can check all of that. So here, wait a second. In employee equals, it is going for the multiple times. Am I doing it wrongly? What is having so many hash collisions? Oh yeah, right. So here it is having the same things, same values, but let me just check. It's added in the same bucket. Is the hash code coming as the same? Yeah, so because I have integerized. Anyway, like right now, don't worry about the, I was just checking about the hash collision value. So as long as you are clear about this, the ID hash code and the salary value, both have to be considered, and just check whether the overall output is correct or not. So first is added true, 100% correct. Here added true. Second one was, I don't remember. One of the things was different. And here, third time also, it is added true. It is what? Same, either ID same, but must be different salary, or same salary, different ID. And the moment you have same ID and the same salary, the add method returns false because it has come across a duplicate. And the last one was totally different. Different ID, different salary. It had this combination. And as you can see very correctly, the answer is in front of you. So is it maintaining, is it correctly calculating the duplications? I mean, is it detecting the duplicates properly based on composite primary key? The answer is very much yes. So this was just another effort to show you, because in practical cases, you might require a composite primary key. So I'll send you this poll. Okay, I'll send you this in a minute. So because I just have a last statement to make on this. So if you see, not today immediately, because when I say something, immediately you won't understand it. You need to sleep over it. You know my statements. So here, the moment, maybe on Monday, Tuesday, whenever you say that, okay, I have understood it. After that, you don't have to really do it yourself. So now see what I'm doing. I'm commenting it. Is there any way to generate it from ID? Does ID help you to give you the matching contract? That is optional part as well as mandatory part. Is ID giving you any solution directly? 100% yes. So just follow along, please. So comment all the things, whatever you have written. And now go here. I mean, here we are going to use the ID's help. So click on source. Do you see do you see an option, generate hash code and equals? Earlier, I was telling you don't use it. I just want to conclude this topic by showing you what is the most perfect way of generating, overriding the hash code. Found the option? Everyone trying along with? Okay, so generate that. And now see the thing it is asking you. It is asking you, indicate the fields to include in a hash code and equals. So that is what was the part of the contract. Whatever fields you use in overriding equals, same fields you have to use in overriding the hash code. So currently we said ID and salary. Got it? So select only ID and salary. Later you can play with it and you can say ID, name, salary. Or you can add date of birth. You can add, somebody was suggesting department ID. You can explore it and say generate. So here, this is the full-fledged version. This part, get class part and all, you will understand more when I discuss the reflection APIs, reflection techniques. But I did not want to do that. I wanted you to focus on ID. You can understand this also. They are not using instance of. You can use instance of also, but here they are using some additional APIs. But here 31 is what? Prime number or not? It is a prime number. And anytime you involve the prime number in the computation of hash code, it gives you a better separation, lesser collisions. Now, can you solve this ternary? Tell me, is this ternary based on ID, salary, both or neither? Line number 41. It is only based on ID. Okay, so here, if it is null, it is producing the result at 0. Otherwise, it is, we are not giving any null strings. So it is producing, it is calling the hash code. And now I had purposefully done, you remember, it was incurring so many of hash collisions because I just reduced it to integer. But here it is using a method. You can read that method later. A representation, I mean, it converts the double value into long bits. So it doesn't lose the precision at all. And then it is doing certain more complicated operations to derive the unique value of hash code. So right now, don't get into the formula. Just keep it as it is. Just keep the generated one. And for the last time, run this application again. And now tell me, what is it? Oh, sorry. I've not put the, my mistake, sorry. We never put in hash code and all. So please add a SOPs. I was wondering why it is not calling in hash code. This is the generated one. And please add in equals. Okay. And run this, please. And you tell me. I'll ask you some questions. So do it step by step. That is why I take a lot of time in explaining hashing algorithm. So tell me, are the duplicates detected? Is the hash set working correctly or not working correctly? It is working correctly. You can see that. And now tell me, is it having the constant time performance or a variable time performance? O1 or ON? You can see that it is having the constant time performance because we have improvised. We have completely improvised the hash function. That is your hash code function. So now I can say this is all which you need to know on the initial day, initial part of hashing algorithm. Why I'm saying initial? Because in HashMap, we are going to rediscuss the similar things. It is going to be a complete revision. But has everyone done it so far? Does anyone want any code from my side? Or anyway, I'll create it anyway. If it went inside equals, yes, of course, Abhijit, come on. I mean, that is like saying, of course, it will go to the this branch. You not following, or is that a confirmation? The moment you are giving the same department, not department ID, sorry, same ID and salary, it is going to what? The moment it is going to have the same hash code. Same hash code means what? Same bucket ID. But in that case, equals method was returning you what? True, because it is same department, same ID, same salary, and JVM did not add the element. So that goes without saying naturally. But that is obvious hash collision. But in all other cases, when the combinations were different, did it extract? Did it go for a variable time performance or O1 or ON factor? Of course, O1, that is not, I mean, the duplicate case, of course, it is going to call equals once or multiple times. In all other cases, you should count. Okay, so I don't know how much it is reaching you. So spend some time on that. And then you can ask more meaningful questions, or you can go through it, and then we can have a discussion on it if you have a particular case still not clear on Monday. So this is what I wanted to show you in the various combinations. Let me show you the final version, send you the final version. Let me create a zip. And anyway, the whole day 15 data I'll upload towards the end. This is for, if you want immediate checking, you can do that.
Ma'am, I want to say something.
Yes.
मॅम जेव्हा स्टार्टिंगला फक्त टू स्ट्रिंग सॉरी इक्वल्स मेथड जेव्हा ओव्हरराईड केली होती ना आणि हॅश कोड केला नव्हता, तेव्हा पण ते सिंगलीच रन होतं, ऑर्डर ऑफ वन मध्येच रन होत होतं.
तेव्हा नाही नाही नाही, यू आर कम्प्लिटली रॉंग. म्हणूनच मी म्हणते की यू नो ऑलवेज, आय डोंट नो हू एम आय टॉकिंग टू.
रोहित.
Rohit, you are again jumping to the conclusion without thinking about it. तेव्हा hashing algorithm चालतच नव्हता. तेव्हा detection of the duplicates was not happening at all. So likewise, I said, so you go all the steps I have shown you one by one. So give yourself time. You are completely wrong in your statement. Forget about this thing, mandatory or optional branch. Hashing algorithm, hashing based data structure was failing when you just overrode equals. त्यामुळे तू जे म्हणतोस त्याचं बेसिकच रॉंग आहे. तर गिव्ह युअर सेल्फ टाइम, go through all the conditions which you have spent more than 2 hours definitely, and you then you check about it. So you just have to revise. So open employee, comment hash code, and then you tell me whether the duplicates were detected, not today, on Monday, because your basic statement itself is wrong. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
give yourself time. अजून आता जस्ट मी एक्सप्लेन केलंय. खरं तर there should not be any doubts because you have done data structures already. But even if it is still confusing, take your time and make the list of observations like I have done, and then we can have a discussion again. Rohit, is that okay?
मॅम. ओके.
कारण बेसिकच स्टेटमेंटच चुकीचं आहे तुझं. So that is about the hashing. Yeah, somebody else sent something. This got generated, Girish, because you might have said objects that hash code. Depending on the different versions of Eclipse ID, it might generate. But tell me, Girish, is the output same? Same means the duplicates are detected or not? I'm talking to you, Girish. Duplicates are detected?
Yes, ma'am, duplicates are detected, but not it's not showing enter in equals method.
But come on,
Okay,
guys.
okay.
Here also it is the same. Yeah, so it is the same.
Got it.
Give yourself time, and then you will understand it in a better manner.
I have not
Okay.
entered that SOP, so that's why.
Yeah, that's why. So like I said, so
Yes,
in one of the cases, it has to call. The moment a duplicate is detected, equals method 100% will get called. And if you are not sure, you can put a one more SOP. What is that equals returning? And that case, equals will be returning true. So you will be going to this branch in one of the cases, and it will return true. Anyway, I have spent, I think, more than sufficient time. So go through it slowly in the immediate or later lab session, and then you can discuss further. I'm going to give you a fresh question to test all of this. So now let me conclude. Let me take the other cases of set implementation. So let me ask you, which is the name of the class which is unordered and unsorted set implementation, which doesn't do any ordering and which doesn't give you any sorting? The name of the set implementation class is the HashSet. So this is the only thing I have discussed. So now let us spend some time in understanding different sets. So let's do it. Let's not spoil the 15.1. Create a new project for that, please. A15.2. Now I'm changing because this all was hashing based. So D15.2. This is just for your comparison purpose. And here I'll give you a question here. Problem statement. Let's say it is again the sets. How it is? Test linked HashSet. And you will spot the differences immediately. Okay, so I'll give you the requirement. Create. This is the problem statement which you're going to solve in the next 5 minutes. Create a fixed size list of integers, some data. I'm giving you this data. In a minute, I'll send you all this. So use the same data. so that we will get the same results. Okay, I've sent you this data. You can add some more things also. Create a fixed size list and populate linked hash set from the same. Observe and conclude. Populate the linked hash set from the same and display its contents. Okay, so spend a half a minute in reading the question, reading the assignment. Two minutes assignment it is. So tell me, can everyone create the fixed size list of integers here from this data? It's a Boolean question, yes or no. Don't start solving. Give me half a minute. I'm talking to you still. Can you or you can't? Can you create a fixed size list? Okay. Which is the API you'll use for that? So I will get the confidence that you can manage. So which is the method you are going to use for this? Arrays.asList. Perfect. Now here, so I got the confidence that you can solve the first one. Now, do I want you to create the empty linked hash set or a populated one? Answer is populated. So it is my job to show you the API help. So guys, please open your Java docs. It is whether it is a hash set, linked hash set, same constructors it has. So open the Java docs and look for linked hash set. And here in the linked hash set, you can read later. It is extending. You can see the hierarchy. Object extended by abstract collection, abstract set, and the super class is a hash set. So linked hash set maintains the same hashing algorithm. In addition to that, it remembers the ordering. Okay, so insertion order basically. So here, let me come to the constructor part. So click on constructors. And here, spend half a minute and tell me for the current requirement. You remember the current requirement? I've asked you to create a fixed size list. And from that, you are going to populate a hash set. So can anyone tell me which is the constructor will you use? Choices are first, second, third, or fourth. Which constructor will you use? Let me see the answer. Somebody is saying second one. Wrong answer. Here, guys, you are supplying the initial capacity. So suppose I agree with you. Fourth is the correct answer, by the way. So if I say initial capacity as 20, it will create that internal hash table with 20 buckets, which is not what I want. I want to create a new linked hash set with the same elements as the specified collection. So the correct answer is fourth one. So this is the help I have given you. So now give me the code in next 5 minutes. So I'm waiting here for 5 minutes. Write the code and then we'll observe and conclude it together. I'm waiting for you to tell me whenever it is done. In another 5 minutes, we will solve it together. If you can't, that is. Guys, I'm waiting for your feedback response. Tell me whenever you are done. Anyway, in another 2 minutes, I'll discuss with you and we'll write it together. Done it. Very good, Shubham. Let's wait for others also. Only one has answered. So I think maybe there's something still not clear with the understanding. So let's see. Okay, couple of you, 2 of you, but that is like almost nothing. Very less number. So let us start solving it. At least tell me, give me the answer line by line. So here, anyone wants to tell me? I'll write the left hand side. So it is list of, there's a generic type is not of the primitive type. So it will be list of integer. Let's say ints something. And here you have arrays dot as list. And at given some data, which is random data having the duplicates. So here, let us print the list first. Okay, I had not asked you this, but I can always ask you additional questions. Some of you have done it. Very good, guys. So here, tell me, what do you expect to see? The sorted output or ordered output or unsorted, unordered? This output, what do you expect to see? I want the answer. Now respond fast. It will be the order output. Will it contain the duplicate? Do you see this? 10 is, oh, sorry. 10 is that duplicate element. So will it have the duplicates? Of course, yes. So there will be duplicates. You can add one more 10 if you want. I mean, doesn't matter really. So of course there will be duplicates and it will be a list is what? Ordered collection. So that much. Confirm it quickly. So as you can see, it is remembering the order of insertion, keeping the multiple occurrences and all of that. Now the simple question, I had asked you this question yesterday. If you had tried to do list dot add, exception or no exception? This is a revision of yesterday. Of course, there will be exception. Which exception? Unsupported operation exception. Because what does this method return you is a fixed size list. So this will definitely throw you an exception. Unsupported operation exception. Sorry, I made a mess. Looks like that's the problem. Oh yeah, there's a list.add, I said, and the variable name is ints.add. Sorry. So here you can see that you know this unsupported operation exception, and if you see this is obvious. So this was just a recap. Now, if I want to create the populated linked hash set, I'll help you here, which is the constructor of the linked hash set you are going to use is linked hash set. This will revise your generics part also. So I'm writing this here. You can create this from collection question mark extends E and let's say a call. So anyone wants to tell me the meaning? This is the revision of your generics, which we had discussed yesterday and today. So now here, what is the type of the linked hash set I want to create is integer. So I'll write, you can create, what does this mean? Or I'll say this constructor can create. You tell me now, you start participating. Is it going to create if I use this constructor, an empty linked hash set or the populated one? Empty or populated? Of course, populated. Wait a second. Is this going to be fixed size linked hash set or is it going to be growable? F or G, fixed or growable? I said the linked hash set. Is it going to be fixed in size or is it going to be growable? Answer is 100% growable. Here guys, the list, the data source was fixed in size, but you are copying the references. It is just a copy of reference. Unless until I show cloning in Java, it is everywhere you are copying the references. So this constructor can create populated growable linked hash set of type integer from, now see the meaning, from any collection. When I say any collection, I'll give you the options. Can I use any list implementation class? It's a yes or no question. Answer is yes. List is a collection. Can I use any of the set implementation classes? Yes again. But will you be able to populate a linked hash set from a map? Never, because map doesn't extend from collection. So from any list and the set and of the generic type. Now your turn. So tell me, when I say question mark extends E, here we have replaced E by integer. So what is the meaning of question mark extends integer? Can anyone tell me? Yeah, E or its subtype means what? Integer. E is replaced by integer currently. So integer or its subtype. Okay. Currently we are not going to the subtype, but the meaning has to be clear. So now let's write this example. So I'll write the left hand side. Linked hash set. Linked hash map on Monday. Linked hash set of integer. Let's say LHS. I mean literally LHS. Is equal to new linked hash set and use the second constructor, this collection based constructor, and the variable name is ints. Are you understanding this? So here you are copying all the references from this fixed size list into the linked hash set, and now you are just going to, I mean, you can attach a SOP or you can just say, you can just attach a for each or SOP. I'm doing the SOP part. So here I'm saying the linked hash set, LHS is for linked hash set, contains. And when I say LHS, why don't you observe and conclude? Do you expect to see duplicates or no duplicates? No duplicates. Do you expect to see the order of insertion? I mean ordered output or sorted output or unordered or unsorted? Answer is ordered or not. Somebody said unordered, guys, linked hash set it is. Anyway, why don't you observe and conclude? So take a look at this, please. And you tell me, is it maintaining the order of insertion? Okay, you tell me. First question, duplicates are maintained or gone? Duplicates are gone. First, that is set. Linked hash set is a set, no duplicates. Now tell me, is it maintaining the order of insertion? 100% yes. And so is it sorted as per any value? The answer is no, it is not yet sorted. Tree set we have not yet created. So this is the example of unsorted but ordered set implementation class. So I'll give you a minute to settle on this. See, code wise it is very easy, but I want your code, understanding of API as well as the internals. Is it clear? Is the output and the discussion clear? Because very few of you have solved it, so I had to ask you. Is it clear to everyone? I'll wait. I can always wait. So just do this exercise, because people ask you, convert, you have this data set and convert it from list to set, and you should know how to do it in a quick manner. So the last question before I say anything, LHS.add, if I say, let's say something. So tell me please, at this line, will you get unsupported operation exception, or will it add the element? Exception or no exception? Line number 21, please. Of course, it will add the element. That is what I already asked you. It is a growable set. Confirm. Best is, even if you don't understand a statement, whatever I've said, don't worry about. You can always add it. And as you can see, it has maintained the order of insertion. No issues, indicating that it is a growable one. Are we clear? Has everyone tried it parallelly? I am just taking one example of a tree set and we are stopping here. So this was your linked hash set. Whenever we require it, main thing you require is a hashing algorithm. So that is where I have spent the bulk of today's time. So now please open the Java docs and I want to ask you a question. So now I'm just taking a simple example of a tree set, and let's see whether you can. I think you'll understand it. If you have understood the sorting, there's nothing difficult about tree set. So here, tell me, tree set, will it maintain the duplicates? Will it add the duplicate elements, or will it not add the duplicate elements? I'm talking about tree set now. Duplicates or no duplicates? No duplicates. It is still a set implementation class. See the hierarchy. Object. It is collection. So abstract collection is the name of the class. Abstract set extended by a tree set. There is no hashing here. All it is going to use is the sorting criteria, either the natural ordering based or the custom ordering based. And which are the interfaces? Currently ignore these because you don't know about this. We have not yet talked about it. But is it a iterable? Yes. Iterable, extended by collection, extended by set, extended by sorted set, and there is an additional navigable set also. But even if you understand till sorted set, this is fine. And here you will see it is not as low as your hash set. If you compare the performances of hash set, linked hash set, and tree set, which one will be the fastest? Which one will give you the close to constant time performance? HS, LHS, or TS? Which one will be the fastest among the three? Yes, please. Of course, a hash set. But if you want to, if you have a requirement of a sorted data, then you will have to use the tree set. So now directly jump to the constructors. And I'll tell you which one are the important ones. First three are important. So the fourth one, we don't use it practically. That's why I'm not discussing that. So spend a minute on the first constructor and I'll ask you a question. The first is the default constructor. There is no hash set, there is no, what is it called, hash code and equals. It is written, it is internally differently. It is basically a sorted set. So let me ask you, if you use this default constructor, are you going to get the empty tree set or a populated one? Initially, simple questions. Everyone understands it. Empty tree set. They have given it. So now let me ask you the next question. When you start adding the elements, which method add? Suppose you said ts.add and you kept adding the elements. JVM, while during adding the elements, which of the following methods will be called? Which of the following option is correct? So JVM will call, options are hash code, option 1, equals, option 2, compare, option 3, compare to, option 4, all of above, none of above, either of above. Multiple options can be correct. Yes, please. I got one answer. I want 100 answers at least when I ask a question. It can be a wrong answer, guys, but I need some answer. Answer is already there. Guys, read this carefully. This is all repetitive. When you hear in the middle of night natural ordering, what should that remind you of? Comparable or comparator? L, comparable, comparator R, comparable. I said natural ordering. Why you're saying comparator? And comparable has which method? Compare to. So anytime you start adding, populating this tree set, which classes, which method your JVM will call? Suppose you have created a tree set of employee. So employee has to implement comparable and employees compare to method will get called. So this is what I had shown you. I think whenever I have shared this diagram with you, the regarding sets diagram. So here, see this. This I had shared you sometime during the day. Anyway, we are almost closing in another 2-3 minutes. So you can have a look at it again. So here, tree set. If you use this constructor, it creates an empty set. And after adding the elements, which classes, which method it will call? So suppose the type of the tree set is E for element type, is compared to method. This is the understanding I want you to have. Open the next one. And then we'll just write an example and we'll confirm. So now you look at the second constructor. You can read the description and I'll ask you a question. Focus on second constructor, please. Okay, so here's the question. If you use the second constructor, is it going to give you the empty tree set or populated tree set? You know the answer. What will be the size? Oh, you got a lag here. I'll repeat. No worries. Yeah, I got a internet connection unstable. I'll repeat my question. The question is, if you use this constructor, what will be the size of the tree set? You heard me now? Still alive? Did you hear my question? What will be the size? So it is saying you are giving the answer as C dot size. Answer is not necessarily. See guys, if I pass in a collection, list is a collection. It can contain duplicates. So let me give you the exact number. Suppose I pass an integer list having, let's say, 10 integers. Out of them, 2 are duplicates. Okay, so in that case, will it be really C dot size? It will be lesser than that. In case of duplicates will not get added. I told you it was a trick question. So now the last question. When you use this constructor, tell me, will it use the compare? Okay, let me phrase this properly. JVM will call internally which classes, which method. So I have two questions. Which class and which method? E classes compared to. Absolutely correct. And I'm not saying a word on my own. It says natural ordering of its element. So suppose type of the element is customer. So customer has to be meant, I mean, it has to implement comparable and implement compare to. So guys, these both the constructors, are they going to use the natural ordering comparable based, or are they going to use your custom ordering comparator based? Answer is comparable natural ordering. But if you want to change, if you want to use the custom ordering, you will have to use the third form of the constructor, which is obvious. Here you are passing the comparator. But point to note is, here you are just passing the comparator. You are not passing any data. So all you will get is an empty set. And after you start populating, then it will call the compare function on this comparator. So this is just these are the inputs I wanted to give you. So in the next 2 minutes, I know I have already stretched it, but I have to at least conclude this to give you something worth looking at. So here, I'll make a problem statement. I'll give you this problem statement. Just a second. I'll just copy it. Wait, this part is the same. Give me 2 minutes. I'll give you a problem statement in a second. So test reset 1. First example. So here is the similar part. Okay. So this part is same. Now add these elements to the tree set. And display the same. So let me explain it. It is going to be a 1 minute exercise. That's why I'm stretching it. So here, this is giving you the fixed size of the list, fixed size list of integers. Earlier, we were adding these elements to the linked hash set, and we understood that ordered but unsorted output. So now, why don't you add these elements to the tree set and display the contents of it? Do it in the next 2 minutes. It's just a similar code. I want you to put these elements, add these elements with the references in the tree set and display it. I'll give you the clue here. Which constructor you are going to use is the collection based constructor. Collection question mark extends E. You tell me whenever you are done. Just do it fast so that you'll get some break between this and your appreciation. Of you have done it already. Okay, very good. So let me also do it in the similar manner. I'll write the left hand side tree set. It is going to be a tree set of type integer. I'm not going to the subtype around that. So let's say set or integer set, something. And right hand side is, I've given you the constructor already, new tree set. We are using the collection based constructor. So here, is list a collection? Yes. So try passing directly ints. And I have the same question. So I'll just SOP that. Yes. And here, sorry, just pass this inside. So answer the questions fast. Are you expecting to have, okay, duplicates or no duplicates? First, easy question. Duplicates are going to be dropped. In the moment you say set, how can it maintain the duplicates? So no duplicates. Is it going to be fixed size or growable? Of course, growable. You can add, remove elements and you can check that. Looking at time, I'll not do that. And the last one is, will it be ordered? Will it remember the order of insertion? Or do you expect to see the sorted output? Ordered or sorted? Of course, it is sorted. And the last question is, do you expect to see the ascending order or the descending order? 100% ascending, because the natural ordering of integer is ascending. See, we are always before running the code, set your expectations, guess the output, and then you feel good once your expectations matches the actual, like in any test cases. So check this. This was your ordered collection containing duplicates. It was a list. And here tell me, duplicates are gone. And what are we looking at? 100%, it is a ascending order, as it's a sorted set. And the sorting, the natural order of integers is ascending. So this is what is the easiest one. But if I say, I don't want this, I want descending, the creator set, or I mean, arrange the integers in descending order using preset. So I hope you got the output so far. Is everyone clear so far? The arranging natural order, is it done? Have you finished it? Okay, the last one before calling it a day and a weekend and all that. So I want to have the output in a opposite manner. Opposite means what? You know, descending order. So naturally, I mean, it's an easy one. So here I want, of course, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 45, etc. So tell me, which constructor to use? Can I use, I'll give you the numbers, first, second, or third? It's an obvious question, but I still, yeah, descending set, Yogesh, I don't want to use. That is different one. So that is a different API. First, I want to show you with the constructors. You're absolutely right, but that is not what we are doing. So here, I want your comparison of natural ordering, custom ordering, the third one. And I hope everyone remembers the anonymous inner class. This is my chance to revise. Okay, so which is the constructor you are going to use? Preset, and the comparator based constructor. And the comparator type has a restriction, question mark super T, that type. And this comparator you are going to supply using anonymous inner class. So again, I'm giving you last 2 minutes. Try it out and we'll stop here immediately, since I've already extended it by something like 20 minutes. I hope you understood the output, what I want. So I want you to use the tree set constructor based on the comparator, and you are not allowed to create a separate class. You are supposed to create an anonymous inner class and give me the output. Waiting here. Since I thought there was a separate lab session, guys, and I was going to give you all this as the exercises. But recently I confirmed there's no practice lab session today, so I extended it a little bit. Anyway, work on this. Okay, I'll give you an option. Do you want to try it out later? Because looking at time, and we can solve this Monday first thing in the morning, so that I can stop here immediately. Or do you want us to try this and then stop? You tell me any option. I'm okay with both the options. Do you want to try it on your own and discuss it? Okay, you will try it on your own and we can confirm it on the Monday morning. So guys, that will be all, because already I've stretched it a lot. You will try it, definitely, sure. So try it out And I'll share. I'll create all that day 15 data, and you are going to get a small assignment on sets. Otherwise, you won't have the confidence that you have understood the sets. So do solve it. Do try to solve it as much as possible. And wherever you have problems, we will definitely cover it on Monday. Monday, we have a proper session. I mean, first half in the theory session and the second half in lab session. So that time, then we'll have the 2 different sessions, and I can help you individually. That will be all. Go through the things, whatever we have said yesterday, today, revise them thoroughly. Monday onwards, we are going to start with the maths and try to cover remaining topics in Core Java. That will be all. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday. Yeah, that will be all.